A major emergency happened to me a few days ago. We prep for situations that we usually see coming: a war, famine, economic collapse. But what do you do when a real life unexpected emergency takes a completely different turn? What's up everybody, it's the Big Apple Prepper here, and today, this video, we're gonna be getting down to this very crazy story that happened to me just a few days ago. If you guys watch my channel for any length of time, you know that I've struggled with a lot with my health. Before I get into everything that happened, I want to explain that going backwards a little bit in this story, I wanted to find a way to let EMS or any type of hospital know my emergency medical information should I get hospitalized because of all the health issues that I have. For my particular situation, I looked up into something that was possibly better than just printable emergency cards. I looked into getting a QR code scannable medical bracelet, or a medical bracelet that could turn into a flash drive where the EMS team could just take it out and plug it into their computer and look up all my information. However, when I did look more into these things, I learned that EMS does not have the means to scan QR codes, nor do they have the time to plug things into a flash drive. And there's many reasons behind this. First of all, when EMS arrives, they're going to try to manage any critical issues first. Opening up basic airways, breathing, circulation. EMS is not mandated to look for any type of medical jewelry. There's also too many different types of medical jewelry on the market. It is very rare that they are in their training that they are mandated to look for this type of jewelry. So you're out of luck. And if you're looking for a specific type of medical jewelry that you should wear, you should look for the most basic medic alert bracelets that there are on the market. The reason why QR bracelets and the USB flash drive bracelets are not feasible is because they don't have the time, they don't have the means, and they aren't trained to look for these bracelets or medical necklaces or anything like that to plug in your information. A lot of times they're wearing gloves and they're touching like blood and yucky things, so they might not want to touch your jewelry and then mess with that and wipe off whatever body fluids they just touched to get this plugged into the computer and look up your information. It is much more easier to have a emergency medical card in your wallet or just a simple medic alert bracelet. For the record, before I get into my story, I had my medical card printed out in my wallet. However, on the morning of my such event, I was not feeling well, and I had called up a particular specialist, and I made an emergency appointment to see them the next day for a different type of medical emergency that I would be dealing with the very next day. That day, I went to physical therapy. As you all know, I'm trying to learn to walk again, and in physical therapy, one of the things the physical therapist had me do was do step-ups. And as I was doing the step-ups, I felt a little click inside my brain, and I just stopped doing my usual, I had just stopped doing my usual exercises, and they saw the look in my face, and the physical therapist tells me to sit down. And the other physical therapist that was halfway across the room, she's talking to me, and I'm just not being responsive. They hand me a cup of water, and I don't even think that I drank it. I think I might have put it to my mouth, but I just felt something was wrong, and my eyes started going crazy. Now, if you all know, the situation that I had was a garage door came down and hit me in the head. And one of the issues that I've been having is I have a condition called nystagmus, which is aka dancing eyes, where your eyes move like this. They can, in my particular situation, they move horizontally. When it happens randomly, it's uncontrollable. It's a neurological issue. In the beginning of my accident, I was seen by a regular optometrist, and the regular optometrist told me that he cannot help me because it's a brain to eye connection and I have to see a different type of doctor. I kept trying to find this different type of doctor, and eventually one day when I was in physical therapy, the physical therapist told me that I have to see a type of doctor called a neuro-otologist. Got the referral for the neuro-otologist. When I gave them a call, they don't accept my insurance, nor are they letting me pay out of pocket because it's against HIPAA laws. So again, I'm at a standstill to find the type of doctor that I need to check this brain to eye connection for me. So going back to the story, I was at physical therapy, something snaps in my brain, my eyes start going crazy. Two physical therapists grab me and they lift me and they move me to the table. While I'm laying down on the table, my eyes started going crazy. I am talking about call me Emily Rose and get the holy water, call the priest type of thing, okay? Like my eyes were crazy. And on top of that, I was unable to communicate. They removed my face mask and I was unable to speak or form words. The PCP that was working downstairs, fortunately this happened at physical therapy where they have all my doctors in the same facility, she came upstairs and she examined me with the lights in my eye and she starts slapping me. But the main part of the story is that I was not coming to as she was slapping me, and I didn't feel it either. It's like I couldn't feel any type of sensation on my skin. So she did another test where she was grabbing my arm and my arm is just dropping like this repeatedly. It's like my muscles had just lost full-on feeling. Everybody at this point stopped doing what they were doing in the office and all the office staff were surrounded, and I was awake. I was able to recall some parts of what was happening, and I was also able to have some thoughts go through my head. And they called 911, EMS comes, and they are now doing similar types of tests that the PCP did, you know, with the arm, with the lights flashing. My eyes are still going crazy. I can't speak, I can't communicate. They strap me into the stretcher and they take me away to the hospital. I'm in and out this whole time. They're trying to communicate with me in the ambulance ride, and I can't really speak. So eventually I get to the hospital. My eyes are still going crazy, and now they pull me into the area where the doctors come and examine me. Now my mother comes with me to physical therapy to help me in and out of the car because again, I'm still learning to walk and I have a lot of issues with my spine. Asking her a lot of questions about my medical history. And that day that I went to physical therapy, I did the stupidest thing. I normally carry my entire EDC kit with me, as well as my wallet, which would have had that emergency medical information that I had just told you guys about, that I had printed out and put in my allergies, my doctors, my emergency contacts, blah, 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 all of the medications that I take and whatnot. I had put all that information in, and that specific day, I'm like, let me not take my EDC kit. And because I was feeling sick, I also didn't take my wallet with my ID. Because, oh, you're gonna love this one, because I wanted to use up all of my fun purses for the summer. I wanted to make sure that I had used this purse at least a few times before summer was over, and this purse is so small it does not fit my EDC kit. And because I was feeling sick that morning and made the appointment with the other specialist the next day for a different issue, I didn't think to even put my wallet in here that has my emergency medical card. So when they're asking my mother, hey, do you know her medical history and whatnot, she obviously doesn't speak English very well, and she wasn't able to, you know, specifically tell them everything that is wrong with me or the medications that I take or anything like that. So it was a nightmare that I left home the emergency medical card and my EDC kit. And I just, like, eventually what happened was, with that whole long story, I eventually snapped out of this trance, and the doctor had come back. He flashed the lights back into my eyes, and I went back out, like unable to communicate, arm again limp, all that stuff. And then a second doctor after that did the same thing, and it happened even a third time, where the lights were getting flashed in my eyes and my body was going limp. I was unable to communicate. The eyes were rolling, Emily Rose style, and all that stuff. So all of that stuff happened. Eventually I came out of this trance, and I was told, you know, I was able to speak and tell them my medical history. And I told them that I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor and whatnot, and where I was as far as like trying to get treatment for my eyes. So they have no answers for me, and right now I'm waiting on an ambulance to go home. As I previously tried to find this type of specialist, the neurologist, I found out that there are only about 5 of them in all of New York City. So again, this is like mission impossible, and every place I was calling doesn't have this type of doctor. All they do is just regular optometry. It was concluded that by the doctors that I did not have a stroke or a seizure, but they assumed so that it was more on the seizure side, and it is not 100% that it was a seizure, because I wasn't convulsing and I was still able to recall events that were happening. But if I had to take a guess, because as all people do, I Google self-diagnosed myself, and the thing that I found that makes the most sense would be that it was a tonic seizure, which would make the most sense with my symptoms where my body was kind of limp. So it is undetermined whether I had a seizure or not, but it is assumed it quite possibly was. And again, I was not prepared for that one. 2 days after that, I went to the place that they referred me to, and I waited there all day because I was an outpatient from a hospital, and they did have the specialist I was able to get examined, and I have to still do 2 more tests for my eyes, and then it seems like they will start treatment for my nystagmus, as well as determine what else is wrong with my brain connection to my eyes, and hopefully I will be able to get some help from there. As of right now, with regular tests, it shows that my eyes see 20/20, but my brain to eye connection is extremely messed up. From this experience, I learned that I was very sick in the morning and wanting to wear this stupid purse that could have cost me my life. And because I wanted to be cute and use up my summer stuff, I did not take my EDC kit nor my wallet. So it was a combination of feeling sick in the morning and wanting to wear this purse that put me in a predicament of being unprepared for that very situation that happened to me. It would have been quite helpful if the doctor had known up front what my medical conditions were, rather than waiting for me to snap out of my situation. My mother was unable to tell the doctor about the allergies I have. My saving grace was that EMS picked me up from physical therapy, which is a facility that has all of my doctors within the same place, and they were able to transfer over my medical records for the doctor. But imagine if they weren't. You know, they wouldn't know what my allergies were, and I didn't have this emergency card in my wallet because I wore this purse. So this was just a really bad situation in total. And the takeaway that I have from this situation, what I've learned is, if you're really sick in the morning, you might not be thinking logically as far as your preps. You might not see what the day has in store for you. So going forward, like as a very sick, disabled, brain traumatic survivor person, I have to figure out a way to make sure to stay on top of that sort of situation. And I don't have an answer as to what I'm gonna do for myself going forward, because I am pretty on point about taking my wallet and EDC kit with me wherever I go, and it was literally the one time I didn't that this happened. That is unfortunately what happened. If you would like to read my full story, you can go click my link on Buy Me a Coffee and read the full story of what happened to me. And I'm letting you guys know, as far as preparedness is concerned, to just have printable emergency cards in your wallet, or get the basic medic alert bracelet for yourself. And that is the best advice I can give for you for those types of medical emergencies, for chronically sick people, disabled people, pregnant people, older people. Any type of those type of people should have their medical history or medical alert cards in a place that another family member knows about. I've been really tired since this has happened. All I want to do is sleep all day long, and it's just been a long road to recovery. So that is what happened. And if you like to read my full story, please check out my Buy Me a Coffee link, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.